I'm here at Abound Communities with Joe and Rufus from Lort Smith's Pet Therapy Program. You're watching Dog Jobs Australia. Let's go spread some magic. Today, I'm making a special trip out to the suburb of St Helena in Melbourne's far northeast. Here, I'll be visiting Leith Park, an assisted living facility that has implemented a fantastic therapy dog program to improve the quality of the lives of its residents. The program was formed in partnership with the Lort Smith Animal Hospital, and I caught up with Megan, a key member of their team. So Megan, you're Community Programs Manager at Lort Smith. How long have you been in that role for?
I've been at Lort Smith for nearly 9 years, and I've been in this role for most of that time, maybe 6 or 7 years.
Okay, so, yeah. It sounds like Lort Smith might be the sort of organisation that has a lot of long stayers in terms of staff.
It does, yeah. It's sort of, when you get really connected with people who are so passionate about the same sort of stuff, it becomes a bit like a family, really. Yeah. So with the volunteers and with the staff, it's, people don't leave Lort Smith. Once you're in, you kind of get stuck there, so which is a good thing.
Yeah, so, but there's worse places to be stuck,
exactly.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so community programs, obviously we're here today at Leith Park, which is an aged care facility, but you coordinate volunteer dog and human teams that go out to a bunch of different places, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So the pet therapy program, we have about 130 teams, so volunteer dog teams, and they visit around 80 different facilities across Melbourne. So,
wow.
And that's anything from hospitals. So we work with most of the big public hospitals, lots of residential aged care facilities, residential facilities for people who are experiencing mental illness or homelessness, or who may have had recent experiences of family violence. And we've also, over the last few years, we've been doing a lot more with young people, so facilities that support young people who might have experienced trauma, or I suppose it's all about connecting with people who most stand to benefit from all the healing powers of that bond that people have with animals.
So it's not a paid program that these facilities have to fund themselves?
No, we've always run it as a community service, so Lort Smith's really fortunate to have lots of passionate donors as well as volunteers and staff. So and it's thanks to those people that we've been able to run it and really focus on prioritising facilities where the need is the greatest, or where the visits will have the greatest impact, rather than who can necessarily afford to pay for the program. So that's so we're really privileged, I suppose, thanks to our financial supporters, to be able to do that.
Lort Smith relies on the support of many volunteers to make their program an ongoing reality, both in human and canine form. Malcolm, tell me, how long have you and Bella been volunteering for Lort Smith?
We've been with Lort Smith now for just on 3 years, Sarah.
Okay, yeah. And I understand you used to volunteer, or still do volunteer, at Lort Smith, working in the kennels.
That's right. We do a kennel shift. I do a kennel shift of a morning at Campbellfield.
Yep.
Just looking after the dogs that have been surrendered, or the dogs that need some special attention at the moment. So we give them a walk, we give them some TLC, and we give them a bit of fun training time, and look after the rest of the activities that come with that, like mopping the floors sometimes and doing up some dishes around the kitchen, etc., like that, just to assist the staff.
Yeah, that sounds really rewarding.
It is.
And I understand that's how you actually came to meet Bella.
That's right. We were in North Melbourne, and Bella came in as a rescue pet. She was surrendered by a family. The person who owned Bella just couldn't look after her anymore. She was an aged lady and just found it a little bit difficult. So we put our name down to see if we could foster to adopt Bella.
Yep.
I didn't ask the family, but I put my name.
Did you get in trouble for that, or?
Put my neck on the line a little there.
I'm sure Bella, once she came home, though, who could resist, right?
Well, that's what I said too.
Yeah.
I said, look at this pooch.
Yeah.
And so then we went for a meet and greet with the family, my daughters and my wife and myself, in North Melbourne, and then we got the okay to foster to adopt. And so we took her for 2 weeks just to make sure we were all going to be a good family together.
And when did you get the idea to work with her volunteering through the community programs?
Well, through Lort Smith Pet Therapy, we actually found that we had to put our name on a list. It's a pretty popular list.
Really?
Yes,
okay,
it's a
that's
pretty
great.
popular list.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of intakes a year, and we got on one of those intakes. She is very, very engaging with people. She loves to say hello to everybody. When we're walking on the path for a walk, an exercise walk, she loves to say hello to everybody. So I felt that she would be connecting, she'll be able to connect with lots of people in aged care and maybe also in the youth programs that Lort Smith are running. So we put our name down and we went and were assessed. I was assessed.
You were assessed as well?
I was assessed, yes.
Okay.
I was assessed. I had to do my online training.
Okay, they weren't checking for toilet training or anything like that with you?
No, just a mere 77 modules and you get the tick. No, it wasn't quite that bad. But Bella was assessed as well. We went over to a location in Doncaster where 3 professional dog assessors were there to make sure that she was going to be suitable for her new role. And one of the things that they did was they ran past the dogs with open umbrellas in a grassed area.
Right, okay.
And just to see if that spooked them out or that upset them. Luckily, Bella said, wow, the open umbrella game, one of my favourites. And she just thought that was fantastic. And so, yes, after doing all that assessment and going through all the processes with Lort Smith, and of course making sure she was well and truly looked after by the vets, that is, had a full checkup. When all that was endorsed and passed, she got through. And so we visit 2 centres a month. We go to an aged care centre and then we also go to a youth centre in Rosanna. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And do you find the responses from the residents different? That's 2 very different demographics that you're visiting. What's it like visiting those places?
With the aged care, I think there's 3 things that I've noticed. First of all, there are residents that just love Bella. They just want to pat her straight away, and they connect with maybe the fact that they've had a dog in the past.
Yeah.
They've been off from a farm, and then they've sort of been able to say, hey, this is just a wonderful way to connect. The second type of connection, which is very, very moving, is when a resident through one of the staff will say, oh, here's Bella, would you like Bella to sit on your lap? And the resident hasn't shown any expression. They've been very quiet, very placid, and instantly Bella is put on their lap. They connect, they smile, they even cry sometimes, which makes you cry when you see the connection with the fact that this person hasn't had any interactions with very many people. They sit at the table, they don't talk to anyone, and yet a dog brings that to the surface, and really that's been very, very moving in some instances. And then there are people who are restricted to a wheelchair, and you can just pop Bella on their lap and they will just pat Bella just gently like this, and more or less you have to say, well, time's up. You know, we need to move on to say hello to other people as well. So I think the aged care centres really do offer a connection back to people's past. They offer a connection to sparking up that there is someone still there inside me, and this dog has brought that out, and the staff see that the resident has responded in this way. There's really that heightened alert to say, wow, that this person has responded to the pet. In the youth environment, it's a little bit more cool, a little bit more chilled. We go to a place where there's only 6 residents, and we just meet in a small lounge room. Bella will just basically visit each one on the couch. She'll jump up on the couch and say hello, and they just pat Bella, and silence is part of that visit, because we're just sitting and Bella's doing her job of just connecting with these young people.
Yeah, I think for people who have experienced mental health challenges, sometimes connecting with a dog is really magical, because dogs are so gentle, well, like some dogs, like Bella, and not judgmental, which is really important.
That's right. And they can connect with the dog, and the dog just knows there's that sense of connection back the other way.
Yeah,
and they just
she's such a sweetheart, isn't she?
She just looks for a pat and a cuddle every now and again.
And she clearly gets a lot out of this too.
She does.
It's not just one way.
She does.
She's wearing her little bandana, and that's her little sign, isn't it, that she's ready to go to work?
That's right. That's exactly right. So when the bandana comes out of a morning and our lead comes out of a morning, on the mornings that we go, she says, I'm off to work and I'm going to enjoy this. And she
so you actually notice that excitement.
You can see it in her. You can see it in her. And she says, oh boy, we're off to see the people again. I can't wait.
Well, how magical to be taken to a space where everyone's just going to love you and, give you all this special attention.
and pick up a special snack or a treat.
Oh,
if
I bet
can.
she gets a few little snacks along
There's
the way.
a few teddy bear biscuits that come her way, I can assure you.
It might be something you need to watch out for
That's
and keep an eye out.
That's right.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and Bella may well be one of the smallest and fluffiest. More Dog Jobs Australia after the break. Today, I'm visiting Leith Park, an assisted living facility, where I'm learning all about their partnership with the Lort Smith Animal Hospital therapy dog program. So, Adrian, you've been working here at Leith Park for 9 years
9 years
now?
Yeah.
And what's your role here?
Lifestyle assistant.
Okay, so that could mean many things, but...
It's varied. It could mean running activities, it could mean facilitating Skype calls for residents.
Right.
We did window visits during COVID. We run a coffee cart. It's varied. The role just, it encompasses whatever the resident needs usually after the clinical side of it.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like you're sort of in charge of making life fun here at Leith Park.
I hope so. We try to make it fun, we try to make it interesting, we try to do activities that either cover one-on-one, like we do have volunteers that come in for one-on-one visits. If it's a group activity, we try to make the activity successful for everybody that's in the room. It might be specific things like I run a men's group every fortnight. Yeah. Which is hard because the men are a tough. They're a tough crowd.
Particularly I guess of an older generation might not be open to talking so much.
Yeah, but for everyone else, it's just a matter of finding activities that engage. Yeah.
And that's obviously where the dogs come in.
Yeah.
So the dogs come and visit. Is it fortnightly that they come in?
Fortnightly, yeah.
And what do you see in terms of the responses from your residents?
Oh, look, it's varied again. But we see people come alive. When the dog approaches them, they have a recollection of their own dog, their family. I've had a lady talk to me about how her parents had a dog, and as soon as the dog sits on her lap, she recalls that memory. We've had residents who are just, they don't communicate. Their behaviours are that you can't actually get through to them. They don't listen to you.
They're just very shut down.
Very shut down.
Yeah.
And in their own world. And when a dog comes along, they come alive. They're bright and they suddenly interact and it's amazing. It's amazing, and they're the moments I think that we look for. People come alive. People go, oh, hello dog, but something like that are the moments where you say this is all worth it.
Yeah.
And it's the success story. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so you have some residents here who have dementia as well, and who might struggle being a bit aware of their surroundings and might have lots of anxiety that goes along with a condition like that. And for them, being able to connect with a dog could be really...
Yeah, it's amazing how it's very calming. And I think they trust the dog. They trust the animals.
Yeah.
They know they have a connection, or somewhere in their memory there's a connection to a dog, or even cats. It's extraordinary.
So I understand it's not just dogs that have come into this facility. You actually have cats that visit it as well.
We have cats that visit.
Yeah.
We have chickens.
Yeah, you've got resident chickens, right? Where you're hatching the chickens
Yeah,
amazing.
And we've got chicken hatchings as well, which again seem to bring out this reaction when they see them. It might be just the cuteness of the chickens, but you get stories, you get conversations, and you get some that don't want to give them up.
Yeah, I bet.
We've had animal farms come along as well, so rabbits, goats.
Well, I've heard that you have actually had horses within the facility.
Yeah, we had 2 Clydesdales come in to visit thank you to one of the funeral homes.
Okay, sure.
They came to visit. Everybody got given a carrot.
Oh wow! Okay,
and they were instructed how to feed the horses, and these.
And it was physically inside.
Physically inside.
Right.
There wasn't much space between the doorway and the back.
Clydesdales are pretty big.
Yeah, they were huge. They were huge, but they were so calm. And everybody was in a circle, and they just walked them around and fed them carrots, and off they went. Who would have thought you could park a couple of horses inside?
And you're seeing the same sort of reactions. Lots of excited people.
I find any kind of animal brings out a reaction. It's awesome. It's just,
And I guess for dogs especially, because so many of us grew up with dogs, that for older people it brings that connection back to their past and to some really magical memories.
I think we're very lucky to have Lort Smith come here. We had one of their days where they brought the dogs along to be assessed, and there were 4 or 5 dogs, and they brought them along one Saturday. And I think we're very lucky to have that connection with them.
Yeah, it seems like it's such a wonderful mutual arrangement that the volunteers, the dogs, the residents, even the staff really benefit from a program like that.
Yeah, the staff run in and want to pat the dogs too.
I'll bet, yeah.
But look, it's a win-win situation for everybody. It's wonderful.
So Lorraine, how long have you been a resident here in Leith Park?
Well, I lived in a unit in the park for about 10 years.
Okay.
And I've been up here for 2 years.
Oh, so...
And the staff are wonderful. They're very good.
And what's it like when the dogs come and visit here at Leith Park?
Oh, well, everybody enjoys them, I think, yes. My father came from the country and we always had animals.
Yeah. So does it make it feel a little bit more like home having a dog come in?
Oh, this is home here.
It already is home.
Yes.
Yeah.
When the family take me out, I always look forward to coming home.
You do? That's good.
The staff are wonderful.
Yeah. And of the dogs that come to visit, do you ever end up with some favourites, or you love them all?
I love them all.
Yeah.
I love them all, yes.
Yeah.
We love them all too, Lorraine. We love them all too.
There you go there, boy. There you going, bud.
Oh, you're doing good.
Oh, you're a good boy. Aren't you?
He likes you, doesn't he?
Yeah. That's all the pets.
Who's that?
I've had some more pets previously.
Giving you a big sniff? Growing up, did you have dogs
as
yourself?
a kid,
Yeah.
that's what I say, but they were all bitches, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And is it nice to have the dogs come to visit?
Yeah.
You're very quiet. Yes, you are. Yes.
Looking back at Mum.
Yes, you're looking at Mum, aren't you?
Have you ever had a Labrador?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had Labradors, Pomeranians, all sorts of dogs.
Yeah, wow.
They all fitted in very well. They tolerated the cat.
Oh, just tolerate it?
Yes.
Did any of the dogs ever bond with the cats? Ever want to cuddle up to them?
No. Oh, they'd both get in front of the fire together.
Okay, the fire unifies them together, but if the fire wasn't there, maybe not.
in front of the fire, yes.
Oh, look at his tail.
Good.
She likes a pat on the back.
Oh, is that she's trying to tell us that she wants a pat on the bum. There you go.
You a good dog? Hey?
Oh, he's
Of course
very,
I'm a
very
good
well
dog.
behaved,
I
isn't
am a good dog, yeah, I'm a good dog, yeah. Good boy, yeah.
Good morning.
You're a good boy, eh? You're a big boy, aren't you? Eh? You big boy? What breed's he?
He's a Labrador too.
Oh, all right, there.
He's like
Unusual colour for a lab, isn't it?
they call it a chocolate.
Oh, chocolate lab.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, gee whiz.
Hi.
Really? Oh. Yeah.
It's so easy to see the positivity that these beautiful therapy dogs create.
I think it's a real privilege. Like I think that for myself, but for the volunteers to meet people in all the settings, to meet people at moments of real vulnerability, and to be able to open up the space that is so healing, and there's so much connection. Like I think it's a privilege for everyone involved.
Yeah.
So, and I think the volunteers get just as much out of it as the
And the dogs, it
yeah,
seems
and the
like.
dogs too.
The dogs have a great time.
Actually, you were talking before about the bandanas, and because during COVID, a lot of the dogs weren't
working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people had to hide the t-shirt and the
That's
bandana
heartbreaking.
away, because if the dog saw the bandana,
Yeah.
and there were people that had to change their route, like walking route or driving route, because
Yeah.
if the dog sensed they were going anywhere near the facility, they would get really
Too excited, and you can't explain to the dog,
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly.
COVID happened, so you can't go in.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool how much the dogs love it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an incredible day at Leith Park with the dogs from Lort Smith Pet Therapy Program. But of course, there are plenty more dogs to meet, so I'll see you on the next episode of Dog Jobs Australia.